What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Trey, and as usual, I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. Listen, I just got to get to the nitty gritty. As a Duke fan, I'm not impressed. I'm not happy. I'm rather pissed off right now. And I think it's about time that we say, fire Coach Scheyer. Over Duke's tenure with Scheyer as head coach, we've looked okay, right? And there is a world where Scheyer obviously keeps his job. He's had a solid start, if you will, okay? I just think that he might not be the head coach that we need. And there's a couple reasons why I think that. So 2023, we lose in the second round. You have the number one recruiting class, 27-9 record. 2024 shows progression because we get to the Elite Eight with the number two recruiting class, 27-9 record. Both seasons, by the way, you have two players drafted. Keep in mind, the first season, you had Dariq Whitehead, Derek Lively. They were injured, so I give a little grace. And it's your first season. I'm not going to try to critique you too much. Just note some things. I told you about the second season, 2025. We have the number one recruiting class. We get to the Final Four, and we have a 35-4 record. We lose 5 players because they got drafted, one of them being number 1, the other one being number 4. We got a number 10 pick. Like, that was a star-studded season. And then this past season, we get to the Elite Eight with the number one recruiting class and an even better record, 35-3. We're probably going to lose 3 to 5 players, give or take, right? So why should we keep Jon Scheyer? Why be pro Scheyer? Well, he's at a 123 to 24 overall record as Duke's head coach. He's the fastest coach to 100 wins. He has the most wins in his first 3 and 4 seasons, 89 games by season 3 and 123 games for season 4. And he's had the number one recruiting class in 3 out of his 4 seasons, which the only non-number one was number 2. So, again, those are quality reasons why you should keep Jon Scheyer. Also, the ACC, out of 32 conferences in all of men's college basketball, it's rated as low as number 7. So we've had good competition along the way. So, again, quality reasons, quality stats why you should keep Jon Scheyer, right? Here's why I say that I believe he's a recruiter over being a head coach. Because I still think we're riding the coattails of Coach K and the Team USA connection, okay? That actually does help out when it comes to recruiting. I do believe that. So why do I view him more as a recruiter than a head coach? 2025. We're in the Final Four. We're playing against Houston. Houston's a good team. Don't get me wrong. Program over the last couple of years has been pretty stellar. They've been missing some offensive players. They ain't been doing that bad. They've been getting as far as they have with defense. And my Blue Devils were up 64-55 with 2 minutes and 11 seconds left. By 46 seconds left, we had a 67-61 advantage favoring us. Like, we lose that game. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, the shot clock is 30 seconds. So that's at most 2 possessions. You know they're going to foul us. And we have to keep our composure. But you know what? We don't. Ultimately, we end up losing the game. Now, I can have gripes with referee calls, but still, ladies and gentlemen, we shouldn't lose that level. We should not lose that game. We should not at all. Like, we gave that game away. But you know what? It's one time. I'm going to give you some grace. I got to see it again. Well, guess what? We saw it again the very next season in 2026. We're playing against UConn. All right, this is the game that cemented, that confirmed it for me that Jon Scheyer is not necessarily a great head coach. He's a solid recruiter. We're up 19-plus points during the game. We go up 15 at the half. Now, we've seen leads dissipate before. I'm not going to critique him, but so much on that. Where it got me was we're up 2 points with 10 seconds left. To get the ball across half court, you have 10 seconds. So UConn's they have to foul, especially if we make one pass. They have to foul. Duke makes that one pass. And we then try to make another pass to get past half court. There's no reason to get past half court. There is no reason to get past half court because UConn's fitting to foul us. As Jon Scheyer, I'm looking at you to say you should have told the team this. Could you prepare for this in practice? Maybe. I'm not going to slight you for that because this is a specific example and you never expect to be here. But you could have told your team, hey, we just need to hold the ball. Like, I'm blaming Jon Scheyer for that moment. I got to. I have to. Can I blame Caden Boozer? Sure. This is up there with the Chris Webber timeout being called for me when they didn't have a timeout. This is up there for me. And Jon Scheyer, I'm looking directly at you. Now, for me, Jon Scheyer is on the hot seat. I stated recently, I thought that Hubert Davis was fired prematurely. I thought the UNC should have gave him 1 to 2 seasons after this season. I'm saying the same thing for Jon Scheyer. Now, keep in mind, Hubert Davis actually went to the title game. He didn't have the luxury of having a Duke program that was still in the thick of things. UNC, when they had Roy Williams, started to slip a little bit. 2016 was their last good season, basically. Because after that, it started to get a little dicey. Go check the stats real quick. I'm telling you, they were not as relevant as they have been in the past. They didn't boast the better recruiting record. Matter of fact, their recruiting actually got better over time. They had number 5 recruiting in 2024 for the 2025 season. Then they had a number 7 recruiting for this season. Now, they lost in the first round. I'll give you that. The first 3 seasons, too, that Hubert Davis had, you had a good quality team to work with. I'll give you that. I thought they should have gave him 1 or 2 more seasons. And again, he didn't have the luxury of following up Coach K on a farewell tour where we went to the Final Four, where we were recruiting at a high rate. He didn't have that Team USA connection. And yet Hubert Davis still went further than Jon Scheyer has to date. And again, Hubert's only coached for 5 seasons. Now, yes, they missed March Madness one of those seasons. I'll give you. UNC has still been relatively relevant. Has the relevancy like it's been in the past? No, it has dropped. But keep in mind, too, though, when Roy Williams was head coach, it wasn't at this high. So Hubert Davis has had to deal with less and went further. Now, another reason why I feel like this is fair, because you might say, oh, that's not a fair comparison. Okay, cool. Well, then let's talk about John Calipari when he went to Kentucky. Because, in fact, over the first 4 years of John Calipari's career, he went 123 games won and lost 26. So we did it in 2 less games. But you know what John Calipari did do? First season, Final Four loss. Second season, Elite 8 loss. Third season, championship. Now, the 4th season, he missed March Madness. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? That's a quality first 3 seasons right there. It's hard to top that. It really, truly is. So what did he do over the next 1 to 2 seasons after that? Because remember, I said he has a championship in those first 4 years. Well, he went to the championship game in 2014. And then he lost in the Final Four in 2015. And his team only lost 1 game that entire season. It was that Final Four loss. So y'all want to talk about I'm being unfair? No. We've seen another coach be more successful. And keep in mind, too, I'll give you $100 right now, non-Kentucky fans. If you tell me, I'm joking, by the way, but if you tell me who was the coach before John Calipari at Kentucky. Because remember, Kentucky didn't have that same springboard the way that Jon Scheyer did following after Coach K. And then if you can tell me who was the coach after John Calipari, who was the coach after that or before that? Be quite surprised. But everyone knows Coach K. Everybody knows that we had Team USA connection. So again, Coach Cal was being considered as a good head coach because he eventually won with the talent that he had. So over 6 seasons, that's 2 Final Four appearances, an Elite 8, and 2 trips to the championship game. That's stellar. It's showing that, hey, this is a fair justification for why I'm saying we may need to cut bait in a season or two. You don't think that's fair still? Okay, fine. How about, ironically, Dan Hurley? Because apparently Hubert Davis isn't a good comparison and John Calipari isn't a good comparison. Fine. Dan Hurley, the man that just beat us. His first 4 years, missed March Madness 2019, missed March Madness 2020. Didn't really have NBA picks, by the way. 2021, he lost in the first round. And 2022, lost in the first round. Now, keep in mind, UConn did not have the same springboard that Duke did. Again, they didn't have that Team USA connection. Duke, as an organization, as a program, is on a much higher pedestal, was on a much higher pedestal than UConn was. Just to be clear. Now, after those first 4 seasons, Dan Hurley, what does he do? Wins back-to-back championships. The precedent's there, ladies and gentlemen. Over the next 1 to 2 seasons, my expectations of Jon Scheyer, especially if we keep winning these recruiting battles, we have to, at minimum, get to the championship game. At minimum. We also can't keep losing while being up anymore. Like that has to be over and done with. Again, these teams, these coaches that we've seen winning championships, whether you're talking about or getting to the championship, whether you're talking about Hubert Davis, again, UNC did not have the same springboard that Duke did. Kentucky and John Calipari did not have the same springboard that Duke did. Dan Hurley with UConn did not have the same springboard that Duke did. So I'm looking at all 3 of these coaches and feeling out and thinking, you know what? If we put them in Duke's program, do we actually win a national championship? Or do we even get to the national championship? Because all 3 of these head coaches, Hubert Davis, John Calipari, and Dan Hurley, literally have gone further with less. With less help from the program, with less help from the prior coach. Like, that is a fact. We have more connections as an organization, as a program, than these other 3. So, again, I'm putting Jon Scheyer on the hot seat for the next 2 seasons. Because, again, if we can fire Hubert Davis, if John Calipari can lose his job, come on now. And we've seen success from all 3 head coaches. Did Hubert win? No. But did he get to the championship game? Yes. Came close at winning that game. But close only matters in horseshoes and grenades. So I get you. I hear that. But I still believe that Hubert should have gotten 1 to 2 seasons extra. John Calipari has shown you can be a successful head coach early on. Still keep your job. But again, to be clear, that championship was needed. And to be clear, our program is a little higher than Kentucky. Because, again, when you think about success, we've seen success with Coach K. We didn't see that much success before John Calipari got there. There was a nice little lull for Kentucky fans. And then UConn. Did we see Jim Calhoun win? Yes. Who was the head coach between Jim Calhoun and Dan Hurley? Don't worry, I'll wait. Kevin Ollie, in case y'all were wondering. Did he win? Yes, but we weren't really expecting that season. So again, even for UConn, they were a little bit sporadic because they would win and then not hit March Madness. I told you, Dan Hurley was building up that program. So if he doesn't win these championships, we're not looking at Dan Hurley the same. But guess what? He eventually got to the championship game with less talent, with less of a springboard. So again, I beg the question, ladies and gentlemen, with all that we have going for us, is it fair to say that John Calipari, Hubert Davis, and Dan Hurley would have done more? Because again, Jon Scheyer has already shown we have not gotten to the championship game. And this is now 2 seasons in a row where we've been up late in the game and lose. I question that. I question that severely. But ladies and gentlemen, I know what y'all are going to say. Oh, you're just a spoiled Duke fan. All right, cool. Well, you know what? Maybe I am. But again, that success that we have cannot be denied. That springboard that we have cannot be denied, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts? Should we look to fire Jon Scheyer over the next 1 to 2 seasons if we cannot get to the championship game? Yes, success has mattered. But to be clear, I think anybody could actually coach what we did or with the team that we had to where we went to. And to be honest, one of these teams should have gone to the championship game. Like, we should have been playing against Florida last year. We should be playing against Illinois in the Final Four this season to potentially go up against Michigan or Arizona in the championship game. We should still be there. So I'm curious what your thoughts are. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that does conclude the end of the episode. So please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone who's anyone about the show. My name is Trey. I'm the host of Get a Bucket. I hope you're all having a good one because I'm not. Take care.